Right.
Welcome to another episode of Say It Like That Comedy, where we say it just like that. I'm your host, Glamis, and this is Marvelous Marvelous. Go ahead, Marvy.
Welcome to another episode of Say It Like That.
Oh, I don't believe he did that. I don't believe he did that.
We're here with our guests. We have some special guests. We in the house. I mean, this is the first time. This is unheard of. This guy is the man. This is Jabari motherfucking Davis is in the house.
Wow.
Yes, and he's here with some guests. He has a show coming this weekend at the Purple Onion. He's the one that brought the Purple Onion back. We have two other guests. We have Timar, who's hot. He's from the Bay Area, but he's coming back to the Bay Area as a comedian. We got Suya. She's where you from, Suya?
I'm from Queens.
From Hollis, Queens?
No.
Oh.
No.
Anyway, we're here, and we're here with all our folks. Welcome to Say It Like That.
That's right, baby. That's what we say it like that. Salute, baby. Salute.
That's Jabari. Introduce yourself, Jabari.
Oh man, Jabari Baraka. You know what I mean? Just that nigga that used to sleep on your couch. Let's not act Hollywood, baby. Let's not act Hollywood.
Okay, I like that.
That's right. And so you introduce yourself and where you from.
My name's Suya Jun. I'm from Queens, New York, and I'm part of Comic Diversity. I'm here on behalf of Comic Diversity.
Okay.
Never slept on your couch, but you know.
But you're welcome to.
Okay.
Seriously.
You heard it here first.
And then we got my guy Timar.
Timor, from San Francisco, moved to New York about 13, 14 years ago. Started doing comedy, and I'm coming back as a comic to just reintroduce myself.
Right.
My name is T.
But I think the big question our audience will want to know, are you funny? But you can answer that later on during the show. That took too long. Like, no, I'm
Well,
horrible.
he didn't want to brag on himself. I
Yeah, that's what
understand that.
comedy's about.
He's an excellent comic. I could get his
Actually,
vibe. I feel his
I
energy.
don't do the brag thing. I'm very
Oh, I brag.
low key.
Yeah.
When you're a black man, that's all you got is your words.
Man, see,
You
he's
got
out
no
here.
credit, no home.
Yeah.
Brag about having swag on the block.
He's out here with Jabari and Associates. Jabari and Associates has a whole association of people that he brings to the Purple Onion. He's actually single-handedly brought the Purple Onion back.
I mean, that's an old
Tell
story.
us a
my
little
nigga. We 3 years. That story's coming to an end, though. You feel me?
Talk about that.
Oh man, we just brought the club brought me back. I was able to get into the club at a time when my only option after smashing all the independent rooms when I first got to the city
Right.
was to start working the clubs. And we all know there's no way you can support yourself and just work in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a real job. You know what I'm saying? And then go to the clubs when they need you, which is maybe twice a year.
And that's ironic. I actually met you when you first arrived in San Francisco, and you were working with, I don't know, were you working with the Y? Or, because I was with the Y.
I was working with MLC, Mission Learning Center. I was doing the after school
and
program.
We had a big
We had the training.
A training.
We had the training.
A training, and he came and he was like, I'm a comic. And so, I'm from here, right?
Right,
and I'm
right.
like, this.
And Glam never said nothing.
No, I didn't.
She didn't
and
say
I
she was a
never
comic
do.
or nothing. She just judged me. She didn't take me in.
No,
We could have been family.
She judged you. See what I'm
She
saying?
from the top like, oh, this bitch ass nigga.
She was like
You a
this to
comic, but you doing hula hoop training with me, nigga.
Did she do this to you?
So
This is Glamis. Did she do this to you?
And he
she was
said
cool,
that I
but we was out there doing training for kids after school.
Right. See,
She's like, how much of a comic are you? Huh? Hopscotch training, hula hoop, snack time
But
lessons.
no, and let me say, in your defense, I finally did get to see a show, and I think it probably may have been like 2 or 3 years later. And when I actually did get that chance and that opportunity, you were awesome.
Oh,
You
good
one of
looking.
the-
That's what it
you-
is.
You're one of the greats.
That's fan.
Yeah,
That's fan
absolutely.
right there.
Yeah.
And Suya, you said from Hollis. I said Hollis, Queens. You're from Queens. What part of Queens are you from?
Bayside, Queens.
Bayside, Queens. And how long have you been doing comedy?
A little over 2 years now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so how'd you come about to this show? In other words, how'd you hook up with Jabari Davis?
Through Timor.
Timor?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you guys are here because a lot of the comedians are coming to the Bay Area, San Francisco particularly, and honing their skills. Because like Jabari knows, he can hear a comedian if he's from, New York, or if he's from Seattle. He knows that sound. And then I think a lot of comedians, and I mean, you could speak more on it too, Jabari, that they're coming here kind of getting their own voice, not being influenced.
Every region has its voice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every New Yorkers have that straightforward, that make you laugh immediately type shit. You have to because the crowds don't really have that patience like that. But still, you have to be witty as well. You know what I mean? But every scene has its urban scene as well. So there's so many different voices. You know what I mean? You got hood comedy in Seattle, Chicago, Atlanta, but also you have that mainstream comedy as well,
Right.
which is the point of view with shit. And that in San Francisco, there's really no line between the two out here, really. You know what I mean? You got racist ass white folks on stage saying racist shit, and I think that's gangster. Like,
Right.
okay, all right, then you got niggas coming back at them, hitting them with some equivalent racist shit, and like, okay, take that, cracker. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and everybody's cool and having a Shasta after. You know what I mean? It's
I'll
like,
tell you, one of the things that I heard about the Bay as far as comedy goes, and something I'm looking forward to really, is that they listen differently here.
Right.
You know, like you were saying, in New York, they don't really have a lot of patience. So it's kind of like they want you to get to your punchlines, nigga,
Right.
and keep them coming because I got shit to do. Whereas
Like
in
the
the
straight
Bay-
up there is a setup punch.
Set up punch.
Tag,
no,
tag,
no, no.
tag.
Set up punch, tag, tag, tag. Set
Call
up punch,
back.
tag, tag, tag. Yeah, yeah. And that's changing because I think, people want to say more. I
Right.
think people do want to say more, and they have more to say. And the only way you can really get those points out is your setups have to be longer because you have more to actually give
Right.
people. You know what I mean? But the listening for that, what I've been told is that Bay Area is like they're some of the best.
yeah, because
audiences.
people are nice out
Country.
here, and
Yeah.
people don't want to. It's a nice culture, and people let you bomb gracefully. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They really let you own that.
You know what I want to
Like, yeah, no, we're not gonna rush you off. You're gonna
Yeah.
eat this right now.
Right.
Right.
Keep
Yeah.
going, keep going.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna listen.
Here's
Oh,
a
yeah,
napkin. We're
keep
gonna
going.
watch
Give
you.
me
We'll be
yourself.
here to hug you after.
Right.
It was once said that that I learned early on is like West Coast, East Coast comedy was about the joke, about the writing, about the joke 1st. West Coast comedy was about you as a comedian, you as a comic first, about your personality.
It was
and
more
then
persona.
Yeah.
West Coast, it's all persona. You know
I
what I'm
haven't did
saying?
anything in New York. Is it like that?
Well, New York is more high power, like you were saying. I mean,
It
you've
is,
been
but
out there.
there are aspects of persona just across the board.
Right.
Because your jokes, even if it's just driven by jokes, they have to come from someplace.
Right, definitely.
But I think it's probably easier to get away with having jokes that aren't necessarily rooted in persona in other places. In the Bay Area, there's a real authenticity issue here, even outside of comedy, even in music. It's like you got to be authentic.
Right.
If they can't hear authenticity in
Right.
what you're doing, they're not going to be engaged.
And it's funny you say that. Most of the people who really looking for authenticity are these white folks. They want to hear if you're real.
Yeah.
Cause like, we want the realest shit ever. We want it pure. You know what I'm saying? They really be like listening. You feel me? That's what I realized when I first got up here. I couldn't bullshit them like I could do LA people.
Right. Yeah.
You can bullshit and lie to LA people and get them just like, oh wow, I'm making up shit. Out here, I had to be real.
Now, not to
Sounds
get
like
off
an
the
easy-
subject, I just want to ask, you guys do diversity? You're
Comic
comic
diversity.
diversity, yeah.
Okay.
So we're in a group with 4 other comics, so it's 6 of us. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, Celia?
Okay. It's
That's what the camera looked up.
yeah,
Pitch
it's
to me and I'll pick up.
hello, I'm
You
not
know.
here. Oh,
Yeah.
No, I was looking at I was looking at the board, so I couldn't
go
see.
ahead, sweetheart.
So comic diversity, it's just 6 very different kind of comics. Like, me and Timur are in it. There's another.
When
reading,
did you guys start that? Is it
I'll tell you what happened. It was we ended up in this class. I don't have a problem with talking about comedy classes. I know some comics, like, you can't learn how to be a comedian in the class, but it's a lot of shit in books that
It's a good start.
you know what I mean. So we were all in this group together, and
You're on camera, Jabari.
I'm sorry, I'm just running my business. I'm getting these emails and shit.
like, what are you doing?
I'm making my money. I'm sorry.
Money go.
Checking these ticket sales.
So a bunch of us ended up in this workshop where he's working on comedy together, and after we finished with that, we was gonna go out and start doing shows and clubs and a lot of bringer shows, and you're basically milking all your friends and family to the venues.
Right.
So we decided to be the venue, so we formed like Voltron, created Comic Diversity, and we booked our own venue and started doing shows about a year and a half ago. And we started at a spot called the Laurie Beachman. It was owned by Lewis Black. And recently we just moved to Gotham Comedy Club in New York.
Okay.
So, but it's 6 of us core comics, and we're all very different. Straight black dude, straight Asian chick, gay black chick, straight white dude, Filipino chick with like married
But
with
Filipinos
kids.
are blacks, though, so
They're kind of black.
not too much diversity there.
So it's just
Or not so much. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Not,
No.
and then we're committed to bringing in comedians who are very different. Because our thing is that if you can get hella different people together in the same place at the same time and make them laugh, it makes the world a better
That
place.
sound like it's the average San Francisco show. That's
Yeah.
what it's like. You're bringing
Yeah.
that diversity.
Yeah, that's
We live that every day out
Maybe
here.
that's where it came from, cause like
Absolutely.
just wanting, wanting that. That's just how I came up. That's how I grew up.
Right.
Could be I'm from here.
And how long
So-
you guys been in? How long has this group been together?
Year and a half.
Oh, year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so now you guys are out here. Tell us about the show that's going on out here.
You know me, man. I got my show cracking. Last weekend of the month.
But they're your guests for this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, my boy I actually had a chance. It's funny. He the other homie Mike Brown, who was out here last year from Harlem. I work with him a lot when I go out to New York and fuck around with Freeze Love and other homies. He had sent Timor over because Timor, I guess, visited home when.
Well, I had Mike Brown on our show.
Okay, so there
And
it
then
is.
Mike went to San Francisco, and when he came back, I called him like.
And I know Mike through Priya. Priya came up under my show.
Right.
Right.
So Priya,
So
that's how I
I'm
know
going
Mike.
home, and I'm like, well, who should I fuck with when I get there?
Right.
And he was one of the people who told me to go fuck
So he came through to one of the shows like, hey, I know Mike. I'm like, cool, he's hosting it. Cracking. Was this year?
with.
Earlier this year.
Earlier. Yeah.
You know what's
February.
funny too?
My
is
first
like,
weekend, Gary Anderson show. He came to the
Yeah.
Gary Anderson show. We was packed up in that bitch too.
It was nice.
Crack-a-lack. It was the
And
first show
what's funny
back.
though is like most of the time comics are trying to go out, and you actually bring them to San Francisco from LA, from New York.
Well, I'm at the Purple Onion, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody want to rock that historical.
And this is the show that's coming up this weekend. If you want to
Yeah,
put
that's
the
a
flyers
little,
up there, if
little
you want to
homie,
talk about it.
little homie Jamie Ball right now. He's my whole production is about presenting the up and coming comedians in the scene. I like to give people that there's a thing that says I'm everybody's first big show. That's my niche.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I bring in cats for the first time, comics who work real hard for the first year in the game, doing open mics during the week. Now that people can never get to see them. Of course, the clubs aren't booking them, because there's too many other vets who going for those paid spots. So my show, it's the co-op show.
And that's the 8:00 show.
That's Jamie Ball. That's a youngster. He's doing his thing, man. Funny guy, totally different, diverse. He's been on my shows. I bring in cats that all kind of crazy
Yeah,
motherfuckers. I don't care,
definitely.
gay, crazy, transgender. I don't give a fuck. You funny, you funny. And if you got a following, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
Straight up, we gonna rock. And it's a challenge for me to rock your people.
Right.
All right, I'm rocking trannies right now. You know what I'm saying? Standing ovation, balls and everything was showing.
Now you have- that's the
I
8:00
missed that
show. So here's the. This is the.
That's
10
last
o'clock.
week, bro.
Oh, okay. I gotta go to the newer one. That one.
Boom, that's the homie Kevin Collins once again, debuting, getting his first show. He's gonna close out with a hot 20. I don't call them headliners because you're not headlining if you're not doing at least 45 to an hour. You know what I'm saying? But they closers. They closing the show out. They got their friends and their family, and he's doing his thing. And he worked hard to get his first 20, and he's about to put his little mark on the Purple Onion. And we have a few other people. I got Lydia Popovich, that's my girl, hanging out with me all weekend. This year I use all women special guests that do 4 shows with me in 2 nights. And Glam, I know Glam pulled my coattail on that. Said, "Nigga, you ain't got me on." I apologize, Glam.
No,
Hey,
you're fine.
we
I
also,
hosted
uh,
a few rooms, so a few nights or whatever.
For a quick plug, we also have a show. If you want to speak about it, Glenn, this is the show at Tommy T's, July the 26th.
Oh, July 26th. That's a show where Marv and I got together. We got some Bay Area comics together.
I think we have them here too. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we're kind of welcoming the AKAs, the Alpha Kappa Alpha,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing a big convention that week. So we're kind of trying to give them something to look forward to away from There.
Jabari Davis right there. He's on the show.
their business.
There we go.
there.
We on that.
You check Jabari Davis on the show. We got Stroy Moley.
Little
Joy.
Stroy.
Oh, when did Joy cut his hair?
That might have been an older picture.
Yeah.
Oh.
Young Stroy. Darius.
Darius Monday.
G.
G.
King.
King.
You got all the brothers on there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm closing that though, right?
Yeah, quite naturally.
Oh, we're gonna destroy that piece. Okay.
What else we got on there? We got
We got quite a few.
Oh, Pope.
yeah.
Okay, you had to. That's good. I want all these women to see all these different types of brothers, and then I come in and them like, okay, ski wee. Like this was doing. This is gonna be doing the line around, nigga.
We got
about the
Rudy
Rudio.
O.
That's Lowy homie and
That's
Tony.
the 8 o'clock show.
That's the 8 o'clock.
You guys
show.
got an 8 and a 10.
Yeah, but these are all this. the
What's that, a
comics that are
Thursday?
on there.
That's on a Thursday.
And Andrew Moore. Yeah.
How many AKs y'all got coming in here? It's a convention,
It's a convention.
so you already
Me,
looked in.
myself, and
Oh,
Lamb.
it's gonna be straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be packed out, straight up ladies, huh?
Yeah.
Wow,
You
that's
can
the picture
sue.
that you chose?
Whoop. That's the only picture because you have no professional pictures. that
Excuse
people
me,
have
but it
today.
doesn't matter.
Her
Is that
pictures-
not a professional picture?
Man, that's
of
us
yourself?
kicking it.
But the thing I'm trying to get at
Mark
is
t-shirt is
we
clean,
have
though.
other pictures.
You don't have other pictures.
You and I have other pictures
Next time, help me
together.
put it together.
Next time, ask.
I do. I just asked. On live TV, can we get a little help, Glam? She want help to do some computer stuff, and she don't have a computer.
I do have a computer. I don't
Oh, you
have
do?
internet.
Oh, you faking on me then?
No, I have a computer.
So back to you guys. So the
I don't know
diversity.
the code to get in it.
This is a portion we call winging it.
With that being said, we're gonna go to a Jabari Davis stand-up. Jabari,
Go to right there, man.
which one?
Right there under there with the red shirt on. Go down, man. Antoine Fisher. I ain't heard that joke in a little while.
Which one is this?
Right there, the top one.
This one?
First one.
Boom, right there.
Okay. We're gonna see what Jabari Davis. Give you a little bit of
Really funny brother that I'm proud to call my friend.
Cut off, man. You got the
Don't
mic,
just
you got the-
applaud, lose your goddamn mind for Jabari Davis!
You know, man, the thing about being out here, man, is you get a chance to see just, so many crazy situations, man, and so much diversity. And when I got up here, man, my cousin, man, he's a gay dude from Atlanta, and he just kept asking me, like, man, you ever see the gay white man with the black babies? And that's his thing. And I'm like, nah, I haven't seen that, man. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had a chance to see it until a couple months ago. I saw it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's a trend, gay white men adopting black babies. And it was a trip, man, because I was standing on the corner of Church and Market, and I was waiting for a cab, you know what I'm saying, hanging out, smoking some weed. I had a fresh haircut. I was just loitering with swagger, though. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you in style, you can do the shit. It's not a felony. And, you know what I mean? And so I'm hanging out, man, and this convertible Audi pulls up. And it's these two older white dudes, and they're wearing ascots, and they're they're looking really classy, and they're bumping Barbra Streisand, and I'm high, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not really into Barbra, but just something about the moment, I was kind of like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, you know what I mean? It was a San Fran moment. And, I looked in the back seat, man, and I saw some shit that blew my mind, man. I saw this black baby boy in his Burberry car seat. Right? And he had like a Gucci onesie on. Like, damn. Like, how are you living, homie? And as I look at him, like, we get eye contact, and he did some shit that blew my mind. He did this. Right? Put his arms out to come to me. And I'm looking at my situation versus his situation. And I really couldn't help but to yell this shit out. And I know it was wrong. And I was like, homie, you made it, my nigga. Like, you got two white dads? My nigga, like. And I'm not talking like Eminem type white dads. I'm talking like Mr. Belvedere and Mr. Drummond type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he had hit the equivalent of the Antoine Fisher lottery. You know what I'm saying? Like his shit was on point. I'm like, homie, you made it. You don't want to come with me, dog. I'm smoking a blunt, dog, on the street. Like, homie, get away, my homie, get away. Don't fuck with us, homie. And as I'm looking at him, I realized he wasn't doing this, but he was doing this.
Get you two right there.
You know what I'm saying? As if to say, homie, we got room for you too, player. You know what I mean? He was sharing his generosity in this situation. And I appreciated it. And for a minute, I considered, I was like, man, he probably got like a little My Little Pony, like a miniature pony in the backyard at the Castro. You know what I'm saying? Frozen yogurt in the garage. You're like, this motherfucker. Like, his life was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like the rainbow ended in his backyard. It was like Skittles and... Skittles and dicks. You know what I'm saying? Like two pots.
That was good. That was good.
Come on, get up.
No, baby.
Keep it going for Jabari Davis.
That's part of the documentary right there. It's a good clip.
So this is the same place that the show's happening today, right here at the Purple Onion.
Yeah, that was actually 2010, man. That was a good year. That was the first year of the production, really, man. I was closing out every show. That was like November, I think, man. We just filmed everything, man. So, yeah, I haven't told that joke in so fucking long. Yeah. It's a long joke. It's a story. That's my shit. I just tell a story.
That's the first joke I ever heard you tell, too. Because when Mike Brown told me about you, I Googled you.
Oh, okay.
And I found that joke, and it's just amazing.
I've seen this before too.
Oh, okay.
And
all
I've
right.
forgotten that it's
Yeah.
you, and then I.
Now, Suya, you're performing that night. Are you featuring? Where you at in the lineup here?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna put her like in the middle towards the
Yeah, he
end.
loves you then.
Uh,
When he wants to punish you, you either first or last.
Pre-show.
Or pre-show.
Oh,
First and last is
God, don't even know.
First and last. That last is real. Is you my nigga or nigga, I hate you? You about to sit up there,
So,
man.
Suya, what do you talk about in your comedy without giving you, you're doing a joke or whatnot? What place do you come from within?
I usually write jokes like I'm just living my life, whatever is important to me, or just a constant theme in my life. Like that's what I'll talk about.
How often do you write? Are you constantly writing?
You know, I don't physically write.
Oh.
I actually
You like Jay-Z?
say things out loud. Yes,
Yeah.
very
She
much
thinks
like
jokes.
Hope. Yeah, I don't write stuff. I just kind of say things, and I'm like, oh, that's funny, and then I'll
Absolutely.
keep going with it. I'll repeat like the idea. Sometimes it's just the premise, and sometimes I'll take it to a mic and.
And how did you end up out it? Because the Bay Area is known for pimps. You didn't look at this like they were trying to trick you out here. This could have been some human trafficking shit.
No, me and Timor were
Timor might be our
yeah.
catch. We just
He's
you're doing good this year, Timor.
that's my boy. Yeah, we gotta do that
This is my
together.
homegirl, and she's one of my favorite comics. Like
Thank you.
one of my favorite jokes. Can I tell them what my
Yeah,
favorite joke
yeah,
is?
sure.
So one of my favorite jokes she has is about eating a baby. It's crazy. To be able to say that
And get away with it?
and get what, it's amazing, and I love
Well,
that.
Grandma's did it, had a baby, and she seems to be getting away with it.
That didn't make sense.
I know. This is saying like that. It can't make too much sense around here.
Yeah, wow, Patrick, you better stop.
I know.
Just cool it. Just cool it.
And Timor, what do you like talking about in your comedy?
You know,
'Cause I see you know all her jokes. Do you know your own jokes?
yeah, I know my jokes. It's a trip. I'm just to me, going on stage is like therapy. It's
You
just
two,
free.
not you.
Yeah, them two. This one right here.
I'm sorry, man.
We go back. But go ahead. I apologize. They don't want this fresh content to
Don't
come
make
out.
them apologize.
You
We
apologize to
apologize.
Timor.
We do.
Apologize.
I
Apologize, brother.
personally apologize to you. I'm
Absolutely,
serious.
brother.
Go
Absolutely.
ahead.
This is no seriously. I got jokes about like my mother's a drug addict. My mother's been a drug addict since I was like 3 or 4 years old. I talk about that. Talk about drug addiction. I was diagnosed with diabetes. I got it from her.
Right. I can look at you and tell that.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Can I bring up the past?
That was really fucked up. And everyone just kind of.
No, I just I'm
almost
trying
stood up
to
for
talk
that
over
shit.
it. I'm trying to talk.
Know what you
over
said?
it.
Nigga look like Fife Dog?
Yeah, I could have.
Man, you guys was punishing me, but I punish him.
That's what Marv does.
Wait a
He
minute.
takes it in and hits the innocent bystander. Like we saw him, he
No, you
kicked
know
the lady in the
what?
wheelchair.
No, that's why I said let's take this back old school. I think that was something. I think you
That
did
was-
get him.
that
I
was
think you got
cold.
him. And he said one day I'm gonna get his ass. They had
wanna
a
fight.
fight. They had a fight
This
when they
nigga,
were in
this
high
nigga.
school, and I
Yeah.
think he got Marvy really good, and Marvy had a
Foreman and
vendetta.
Hackler.
You know what?
Former
Either that. You know what it was? I'm gonna tell you. My mother told me. She told me a few things, but she was like, even if you get your ass whipped, you just make sure whoever whipped your ass took an ass whipping, so the next time they'll think twice.
And this is the reason why. He's the reason why I don't be beating on little people. Because I beat up big guys all day long, but little people fight like they fighting for their life. I'm like, will he quit? He was with 3 big guys too.
he got
I had
you,
them
Mom.
both bullied. I had them
Yeah,
figured
I'm
out.
convinced.
Oh, he fought hard enough to.
got you.
Well, when I seen him again, I wasn't trying to fight. I wasn't trying
You was in
to
a
do number
wheelchair
2.
the whole time.
I know, 'cause I did see him. I did see him after the fight. I saw him about a couple months after the fight, and he was with a bunch of his boys, and I was just with my girl. You know what I mean? I was like, if I'm gonna get my ass.
He was in a
whipped
wheelchair
today,
though.
it's
You
gonna
gotta say that.
be- Yeah, well, yeah, he was in a wheelchair. He got
Yeah, let's talk
Subsequent
about
to that fight, I got shot. Is
He
it something
left
you wanna
that
tell
out.
me?
Makes like the nigga standing up on his 2 feet.
Subsequent to that, I got shot. Did you have anything to do with
Yeah,
that?
no, I had nothing to do with it. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But it turned to
This
his
shit
boys.
might be
He was
on,
like, he was like, hey, y'all see this nigga right here? That's a real ass nigga. And it was just cool. He was like, yeah, we get a
That's
pass.
all I'm saying.
And then he took
Marvy
the
is
nigga to
all
Orange
right.
Julius. And hot dog on a stick. And them niggas was homies for life. What you want, nigga? Cheese stick?
I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you comedians. This is one of Glamour's pet peeves when people are recycling jokes or using jokes like my mama said, use this in a sentence.
Let me say this. The pet peeve I have is people recycling other jokes.
What does that mean?
His pet peeve is using other people's material.
That's stealing. That's not recycling.
No, but it's like those bar jokes
But
that
then
they kind of.
he feels like me.
Yeah.
I could tell. But the my mama said who did, that's his pet peeve.
Oh, okay.
He tries to put
My
him
mama
in.
said what?
You know what they be saying? My mama said use in a sentence, dictate. I said, Mama.
All that shit.
Oh man.
Nah, you
Or
know,
just that recycled BET Def Comedy Jam dated. I'm gonna start with you, T. What's your
you know what? Here's the thing, man. I try not to judge people, and you know, people are gonna choose to do what they think works for them. All right, and I don't have the energy to judge that. I gotta focus on my own shit.
Right.
I do the kind of comedy where my goal is for people to understand me and to be. I want to be like your friends and family. When I get off stage, you want to either you gonna connect with me
Right.
like that he remind me of my cousin, or that's the nigga I would kick it with because you're getting who I am as a human being in my comedy. You can't do that if you're doing the shit you're talking about.
Right. And the thing about that is because I am a comedy goer. Before I was even doing comedy or thinking about doing comedy, I still enjoy comedy. I can go and not judge a comedian and really enjoy the comic part of it. You know what I'm saying? But when I hear people say that, even as a comedy goer, I would feel really slighted. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, come on, man, really?
Well, I mean, if you go if I go to a show to see somebody, it's because I'm familiar with who they are, I'm familiar with their material,
Right.
and that's what I go to see. If while I'm waiting to see the person I want to see, somebody gets up and they do that, I don't feel slighted because that's not what I paid for.
You know what's a niche that no one has done yet that can make somebody famous as fuck right now? Cover sets. Well, you just go out and just do
I thought
George
about-
Carlin
listen,
all
I
night.
thought
Or
about
Richard
that.
Pryor.
But keep on giving it
thought
up to
about
him.
No,
I
you
thought
this
about
that's
that
your
as a
shit. You
Broadway
do
show,
covers.
though. As a Broadway show, I thought
No,
about it.
nigga, in the club.
I
But
know.
you know,
In the straight up club.
I've seen people do that.
This
with
set
Richard
is
Pryor.
from 1975, Red Fox
They've
first
done it.
album,
What?
and then
I've
boom.
seen people do
Real
not
do
to that
segments?
degree.
Yes,
not
cover
to that
sets.
degree,
If you're
but-
gonna steal, just be a cover comic.
But this is what
Hey,
I
I
wanna
cover your
say.
shit, man. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that was an option.
No, that's what I'm saying. But everybody's already doing it. Let's just keep it
What?
100.
Right.
If you're already doing it, if I was a dude,
They're gonna make karaoke for stand up.
they should.
Wow.
I think I might create the first
We're
stand-up
coming to the end
karaoke
of the
machine.
show. I want
That's
to
a
give
good
you.
idea.
I want to give you.
You know
See
how many
y'all.
niggas would do that?
I want
Yeah.
to see y'all, Jay-Z. I like. What is your take on recycled jokes?
Cover
and things
comic.
like
I'm gonna be the first
Yeah, that's weird too. When I hear recycled, I think of using your own material. Again, that's what I. But yeah, steal. I mean,
That's that.
yeah, I'm pretty much with
I
you.
wonder
Well, I
what
was
happened?
being nice
Right.
by saying recycle.
Man, I want to do a
Because you don't
movie
wanna
like
be
that. I want to do a
thief. Right.
documentary.
Right.
I want to do a
So-
documentary.
so what
the
do you
people
guys
who do
feel
that,
about
don't
that?
the people
How do
who
you guys
do
feel?
that get don't they get approached about that shit?
No.
Sometimes.
I let Jabari talk about that. Jabari, what do you feel about those recycled jokes?
Oh, and the shit in LA happens all the time. I mean, niggas used to get beat up, literally. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I
that's
mean,
what I'm
I know
saying.
the homies have beat up. I ain't gonna even call no names, but a few niggas in TV and got knocked out in the front of the Comedy Store. I've been there. You know what I'm saying?
see a lot of
Beat up in the
fights.
green room, up in the belly room. I mean, it happens all the time. But that's more of a cutthroat market where it's not their signature joke, but it's something that can get their ass on TV real quick. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? You
right.
got writers who somebody say a joke and the next day it's on a TV show because they had writers up in there waiting to see who's at the funniest
Exactly.
shit. Boom.
Exactly.
That's that market.
Right.
Okay.
You feel me? So my thing to stop, to just alleviate that shit and that stress for me when I first started, I made sure I just tailor my comedy so unique that,
Right.
that there's no way for you to even steal your shit. You stealing me.
Right. We're coming to the end of the show, and I just want to thank my comics here today. And like I said, we have a show July the 26th at Tommy T's. They have a show this weekend at the Purple Onion. If you guys
Friday,
wanna come
Saturday,
down, Friday
8
and
o'clock, 10
Saturday. And we want to thank you, Glamis. You want to take us
We
out?
also have every Wednesday, Say It Like That comedy, Say It Out Loud, Laugh Out Loud, Top of the Hill, Daly City, 22 Hillcrest, Daly City, California. Show
That's this
starts
one?
at 9 o'clock.
That's that flyer. Say what you will and want about
Right.
it. And every Friday, the open mic. Jabari, you got to come do this show though. It's cool.
I'm not gonna fuck with it. I've been
Connect
hearing a lot
back
about
with
the
your
room.
black people.
Is Dirty Mike there last night?
No.
Oh, he wasn't gonna make it. Huh?
So everybody, we're gonna say it like that to the camera. We're all in.
Say it like that,
On
baby.
the count of three.
On the count of 3.
Okay.
Go on, start it, Jay-Z. Count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
Say it like that. Just like that.
You feel me?
Thank you guys. We've
Thank
been
you.
wonderful.
Thank you, Jabari. Thank all my guests.
Hey,
Yo, you
I'm
know
telling you
when
though,
see
that's a
down-
good
down
that's a good
before I
documentary.
ordered
Hey, man, that's
Cover
Three,
comic.
4, 17,
Cover comic.
9,
Cover
To
6.
see, and you cover local niggas. I'm stealing everybody's shit.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
But I quote and say, hey, this is Tony Roberts set. And the nigga be right there.